most of us who are young that have destiny, you begin to have feelings about your future, even though you don't know what it is. You begin to feel that it's going to be a great future. But what you need is the knowledge of yourself and how to protect yourself so you can have that future. All praise is due to Allah. So the old man said to young Jesus, he says, yes, you do have a great future. You are to be the last prophet to the Jews. The last prophet to the Jews. He said, I have come to teach you how to protect yourself from their planning. What was this protection? He said, I have come to teach you the science of the radio in the head. How to tune up on your enemies so you will know their thinking, know their planning, and you can guard against their thinking and their planning. And if you read the scriptures of the New Testament, you will constantly run into these words. And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, and Jesus, knowing their plans, went in another direction. That's the only way that Jesus could protect himself among the Jews. He had to know what they were thinking and what they were planning. It took the old man 3 days to teach him. There's that number 3 again. I want you to see how this is science and masterful teaching by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In 3 days, Jesus learned how to tune up on his enemy. He would tune up on his teacher. His teacher would send him a message. He would receive it. But the most difficult part is to send the message. Easier to receive than to transmit. But Jesus was a very righteous little boy. Very clean, living young boy. He was ready. And at 14, he left his mother's house to go to Palestine to start giving his final message to the Jews. His mother gave him $2,000 to get him to Palestine. But there were so many beggars in Cairo that before he reached the extreme of the city, he had given away much or all of what his mother had given him. He gave it to the poor and the beggars on his way to his mission. What does this tell you? The heart of Jesus. He was extremely charitable and extremely compassionate for the suffering of others. He was a child of destiny, born to bring a message of mercy and a message of compassion to the Jews. He walked from Cairo to Palestine, doing odd jobs along the way. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Jesus was not the kind of person that would let you feed him and he not do something in return. He would always do some odd job, and those that housed him and fed him, he would do something to compensate for what they did for him. And he did that until he reached Palestine. And when he started teaching in Palestine, the Jews rejected him. Now listen to this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said Jesus never got more than 36 people at any one time to listen to him. The Jews were so hard-hearted, so hateful of what he was teaching, till they were planning all ways to kill him. And he would have to run and flee and hide and teach and run and flee and hide and teach and run. I mean, Jesus just stayed in Palestine, which is called Israel today, where he taught the Jews, but they rejected him totally. They didn't want nothing to do with Jesus. What was his message? He was telling Israel she had to be born, what? What is that? Born, how? What does that mean? What does it mean? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that since the Caucasian was grafted out of the original black man, in the grafting process, losing that checkmate in his nature that would check the evil of self, Jesus was telling them, you must be born again. And Nicodemus said, how can a fully grown man enter back into his mother's womb for the second time? And Jesus gave a very deep answer. The wind bloweth, and you know not, the direction of its blowing, in words. He was saying, look, you are not considering where you are coming from. You came from the original man. You were grafted out of him, and the only way you can see the hereafter, you got to go back into that out of which you were taken. I am your guide back to your nature. I am your guide back. I'm the last one that will warn you. But he that comes after me will destroy you. The white man set about to kill their last guide to self.